Try to remember when the person's not punching, when they're not in the middle of the punch, you guys try to shift away from leg to leg. Keep your head moving all the time. You don't stand stiff like a stick. You guys always try to keep your head moving. Try to react to it. You gotta come in close. You block it and keep it at the same time. Block and move. Block, pull back. Way out.
Come on, Danny, come on.
I've been boxing and doing martial arts for over, I want to say 13 years now. It's probably the only form of exercise that I thoroughly enjoy and will do consistently. It involves strengthening my body and also kind of my spirit, and it's something that just spoke to me from the minute I've tried it, from when I thrown my first punch. And I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by people that have helped me move forward in just my love of martial arts. What I think about when I'm training is actually every single movement that I do. Are my hands up? Is my back heel up? Am I turning my punches over? Am I using my hip for movement rather than just using my arm? I like to get into a flow, and when I get into that flow, I know that I'm doing well. Actually, a lot of people think that you come here and you think about that person you hate or the stress of your job and you hit things harder, but I don't think about anything other than what I'm hearing from my instructor and what I'm feeling in my body and the bag in front of me when I train. The physicality of the sport of actually hitting a person and being hit, the harder one to me is actually hitting someone. I would much rather take a hit or get hit than hit someone. Being able to hit someone full force, and that's your intention, and putting all your focus on that mentally is something that's actually very difficult. Even though there's a competitive aspect to it, it's hard. Usually when I get hit, it's not so much the pain or the brutality of it that hits me first, it's the fact that I've messed up somehow in that I allowed myself to get hit by not having my hands up or being in the wrong place at the wrong time and not having the proper technique. But I don't think that you can really understand and appreciate boxing and the sport until you've been in the ring in front of someone who is trying to hit you as hard as they can and you're trying to do the same. There's that tension, that aspect of it that I think a lot of people underestimate when you are boxing and when you are thinking about being brutal towards another person. Well, the ultimate reward, I think, of boxing is the skill, the nickel drop, and you can perform in a manner that you've seen the greatest fighters perform in. Sometimes you learn about your stance, sometimes you learn about where your hand should be, where your head should be, how the timing, the pace of things, and then putting all those 8 to 10 different aspects together and executing them well. That's the ultimate reward. As my personal journeys, and we all have struggles in our life, but when I was going through very difficult times, I found solace in the gym. I found solace in getting strong physically so that I knew when there was a mental or a challenge in my personal life that I had to come up against, I knew what I could do. I knew what my body was capable of, and pushing beyond that because my spirit and my mind drove me that extra 10 miles to get to that point. I feel that I can walk into a room confident, knowing that I've pushed myself beyond my limit. I do feel stronger in my work life and in my ability to not feel I need to shrink, even in a social setting or a classroom setting or professional setting where I need to stand up and make my point known, the confidence that I have received from boxing and from training definitely translates into that. I feel that I won't let anybody push me around because I'll push back.
Yes,